Hello, welcome back. Today is Tuesday, March 31st. Today you might hear my daughters in the background. Juliet is pushing Nellie on a swing, so we'll see. All right, today I'm going to read the book, The Circus Ship. Why don't you get off and then you can push her from behind.
Okay.
5 miles off the coast of Maine and slightly overdue, a circus ship was steaming south in fog as thick as stew. On board were 15 animals who traveled to and fro. The next day it was Boston for another circus show.
Hey, Dad, I'm just gonna say this is my favorite animal.
Elephant.
That's my favorite animal.
The captain, Mr. Carrington, was honest and sincere. He thought they should drop the hook and wait for things to clear. But Mr. Payne, the circus boss, was terribly demanding. He stormed up to the helm where Captain Carrington was standing and screamed, "Don't stop, keep going, I've got a show to do. Just get me down to Boston town tomorrow, sir, by 2. Then came a crash, an awful bash, things flew into the air. The ship had smashed into a ledge that no one knew was there.
You're falling into the water.
The shattered ship began to tip, then sank without a sound. The splashing, thrashing animals swam round and round and round. The captain said to Mr. Payne, "Pray tell, what shall we do? We can't just leave them here to drown. We got to save them too." The animals yelled Mr. Payne. "Why, sir, what are you, daft? It's me you should rescue. Put me into that raft. Now ferry me to safely. And, sir, before I die of cold, don't question me," barked Mr. Payne. "Just do as what you are told." Through chilly waters all night long, the animals swam on until they reached an island beach just before dawn. They pulled themselves up on the shore, bedraggled, cold, and beat. They staggered into the village on weary, wobbly feet. The people in the neighborhood had just begun to rise, and when they saw the animals, they had to rub their eyes. They thought they saw an elephant, but wait, how could that be? And what's that little monkey doing in the cherry tree? 1 second. Somehow she snapped herself out of this, huh? No, Nellie, this stays in here. Do that. Keep going. You're doing great.
That was so high that was going.
Soon animals were everywhere and into everything. There's no ostrich in the outhouse. There's a hippo in the spring. There's a tiger in the tulips. There's a lion in the lawn. There's a python in the pantry. It went on and on and on. Mr. Hood was stacking wood and nearly jumped a mile when he found the alligator sleeping on his pile. And Mrs. Dottie Daly, who grew daisies by the bunch, discovered that the zebra had been eating them for lunch. And Miss McFanny Fee found, according to the rumors, the silly little circus monkey swinging in her bloomers. But everything changed quickly, like the turning of the tide. The night that Mr. Abbott's shed caught fire with Emma Rose inside. From high above the Abbott's farm, the tiger saw the shed. The sight of smoke and fire triggered something in his head. He jumped through flames 1,000 times back in the circus days. So he ran past all the people and he leaped up into the blaze. Who's he gonna save? Remember the girl's name? Emma Rose. Then everybody panicked. "Help, help, what can we do?" When from the raging fire, something big burst into view. It was the most amazing sight and everybody froze. And then they saw the tiger saving little Emma Rose.
Do you know that? Look at Emma Rose.
The tiger's risky rescue changed everybody's mind. The animals were bothersome, the animals were kind, and so they lived together side by side and got along. It didn't seem like anything could possibly go wrong. The author's saying, he's trying to say that something's about to happen, predict what's gonna happen, who's gonna come back. Then Little Red the
Mr.
messenger,
Payne's gonna come back.
the Little Red messenger
I already
came
know
running
it.
with the word. Apparently a circus ship had sung from what he's heard. The animals are from the boat that swam from the bay. The greedy owner wants them back. He'll be here any day. So the people called a meeting and they quickly hatched a plan. No animals that came ashore would sail off with that man. The next day at the crack of dawn, a ship was at the pier, and up the lane marched Mr. Payne, whose voice was loud and clear. I am the circus owner. My ship sank in the murk. I'm the owner. I've come to find my animals and put them back to work. He hiked until he came into the center of the town. His face was red. He scratched his head. He stood there with a frown. Mr. Payne looked high and low. He still couldn't see the 15 circus animals of his mangerie. And you can see the different animals in there. Maybe this would be a time to pause and try to find all of the animals. They're all hidden in that picture. He ran around the alleyways. He searched the village square. He even checked the chicken coop. The animals weren't there. Mr. Payne was tuckered out. His heavy chest was heaving. Then Little Red stepped away and said, I think your boat is leaving. He ran off in a fit of rage. His ship was leaving sight. So he jumped into a rowboat and he rowed with all his might. And from that day, that's like to say their lives were free of pain. It was a happy, peaceful place upon that island Maine. The end.
Can I take the
Thank you.